Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are doing something a little different. We're going to completely strip away the hype, ignore all that endless financial noise, and show you how building serious wealth in the stock market doesn't actually require you to be some kind of financial genius. And it absolutely doesn't require you to sit there constantly staring at charts all day. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the relentless headlines or that intense pressure to find the next massive tech stock before everyone else does, well, you are in exactly the right place. So let's dive right into this.
Think about this for a second. What if making money didn't require genius? The reality is, you really don't need to predict every single market crash. You don't need to uncover the next big boom to build serious, life-changing wealth. In fact, trying to do those things, it usually just leads to disaster. What you actually need is a sustainable, repeatable approach. The most successful investors in the world aren't fortune tellers with a crystal ball. They're simply masters of discipline.
To get there, we've got a really simple blueprint for your journey today. We're going to cover the boring truth, building your financial foundation, the smart investing strategy, mastering the investor mindset, and finally, the power of compounding.
Let's kick things off with part 1, the boring truth. We really need to look at the actual reality of stock wealth. As this quote says, the truth is, building serious wealth from stocks is usually much more boring than people think. Literally, the entire foundation of our explainer today is that successful investing comes down to just a few unglamorous things. It relies on buying good investments, managing your risk, staying completely consistent, and above all else, giving your money enough time to grow. It's not about the adrenaline rush, It's really just about patience.
Moving right along to part 2, build your financial foundation. This is the stuff you absolutely have to do before you even think about buying a single stock.
So here is a kind of surprising first rule of investing. Initially, don't buy any stocks at all. Seriously, you must establish these 3 foundational steps first. Why? Well, because the stock market simply doesn't care about your personal schedule. It goes up, it goes down. If you invest money that you're desperately going to need to pay rent in, say, 6 months, a sudden market decline is going to force you to sell your investments at a loss, at literally the worst possible moment. You have to insulate yourself. Build that emergency fund, crush your high-interest debt, and only then start investing with small amounts you can comfortably afford to leave alone for a long time.
Social media always wants you to ask how to turn $1,000 into $1 million overnight. Ignore that. Your focus needs to completely shift to asking, how can I build a system that allows me to invest more every year? Your ability to earn money and increase your own income is hands down one of your most powerful financial assets. Investing in your own skills in your career is what actually allows you to systematically bump up those monthly contributions.
Okay, part 3, the smart investing strategy. Now we're getting into the actual mechanics of what you should be buying.
The absolute most crucial point here is that you shouldn't just run out and pick 10 random individual stocks. You want to start with broad diversification. Think broad market index funds or ETFs. By starting with diversified investments that are spread across hundreds or even thousands of different companies, you drastically reduce your overall risk. Think about it. If you put everything into one company and it goes under, your portfolio is toast. But with broad diversification, one single failure isn't going to wipe out your financial future. It just makes the whole ride so much smoother.
Now, once you have that diversified core locked in, and you do want to look at individual stocks, you have to stop seeing them as just blinking red and green ticker symbols on your screen. You are buying a piece of an actual real-world company, so you need to check under the hood. You're looking for consistent revenue growth, healthy profit margins, strong free cash flow, manageable debt, and a durable competitive advantage, a real moat. Just remember, a cheap stock doesn't always mean it's undervalued. Sometimes it's cheap because the business is actively failing. You want a great business, period.
But finding a great business isn't enough on its own. You absolutely must understand valuation. Valuation is just the relationship between a company's current price and its future business performance. If a company is incredible, growing super fast, and everybody loves it, the stock price might actually already reflect 10 whole years of perfect expectations. And if you pay a totally unreasonable price for even the greatest company on earth, it can still end up being a terrible investment.
Which brings us to part 4, mastering the investor mindset. This section is all about surviving the psychological warfare of the markets.
Here's a huge rule. Never, ever buy a stock just because everyone else on social media is hyping it up. You have to trade that trending stock mentality for a quality business mentality. When you buy into something just out of pure FOMO, the fear of missing out, and the stock inevitably drops 30%, you are going to panic. And you'll panic because you don't even fundamentally know what you bought. You must understand the business and its actual fundamentals, rather than just blindly chasing whatever the latest trend is.
And look, market crashes are going to happen. It's just part of the experience. But when they do happen, you need to step back and ask yourself one really powerful question. Has the underlying business actually changed? If the company itself is still fundamentally strong, a lower stock price just means the overall market is in a temporary bad mood. Please, don't confuse a falling stock price with a fundamentally broken business. Keep those emotions in check.
Honestly, you should remind yourself of this constantly. Boring is good. You do not need 20 complicated trading strategies. You don't need to play around with risky leverage, and you definitely don't need to trade complex options just because it sounds exciting. Your objective here is to build long-term wealth, not to look super sophisticated to your friends at a dinner party. A simple portfolio that you actually understand will beat a complex portfolio you can't explain every single time.
All right, part 5, the power of compounding. This is the underlying math that makes everything we've talked about actually work.
50%. This number represents the absolute biggest mistake you have to avoid, destroying your portfolio while trying to get rich quick. Think about the math here. If you lose 50% of your portfolio on a really bad, highly speculative bet, you don't just need a 50% gain to get your money back. No, you actually need a massive 100% gain on your remaining money just to break even. This is exactly why risk management is so critically important. You don't have to win big every single time. You just have to avoid losing so badly that you can never recover.
The real secret sauce to wealth is the snowball effect. It's time, plus your returns, plus those additional contributions. When you combine disciplined, ever-increasing monthly contributions with reinvested gains over a period of 20 or maybe 30 years, the growth becomes totally exponential. Eventually, the market returns themselves start doing all the heavy lifting for you. It's amazing to watch.
So it all just comes down to what we call the boring wealth formula. Start as early as you can. Invest consistently. Focus on increasing your income so you can slowly bump up those contributions. Own productive assets. Avoid the catastrophic losses we just talked about. And finally, just get out of the way and let decades of compounding do the work. By sticking to this simple, completely unexciting framework, the mathematics of compounding will basically become your greatest financial advantage.
Reflecting on this completely anti-hype approach we've walked through today, I want to leave you with a question. Think back. What was the very first stock you ever bought? And knowing what you know now, what would you do differently? Think about your own starting point. How might adopting a boring, disciplined, long-term strategy completely reshape your own financial future? Remember, the stock market rewards patience far, far more often than excitement. So don't chase the quick money. Let time and consistency build a portfolio that your future self will absolutely thank you for. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.